morning near Milan. The man in the brown coat is identified as Giorgio Pizzagno, a drug and money laundering suspect, an alleged member of the criminal network surrounding one Pasquale Locatelli. He was not alone. Suspected members of the Locatelli organization were arrested across southern Europe in the climax of Operation Dinero. The roundup of those accused of working for him is one thing. This series of reports is about the elusive Pasquale Locatelli himself and the role Georgians played in the hunt for a man with an international reputation.
In Operation Dinero, he certainly was the big fish. If you want to continue the comparison, I'd say he was a great white.
He is one of the most dangerous criminals, as well as one of the most sought-after criminals in Europe.
One of the most notorious fugitives in Europe.
In realtà è più che in Europa, io direi nel mondo.
Actually, not in Europe, in the world.
A quick composite of what authorities across the world allege about Pasquale Locatelli. In Italy, he is accused of a mafia-like conspiracy, international drug trafficking, and money laundering. In France, there was the prison escape. His lawyer says Locatelli was found guilty in absentia on drug charges. In Greece, more drug trafficking allegations. And in Canada, pending charges of conspiracy to import and conspiracy to traffic more than 5,400 kilos, almost 6 tons, of cocaine. The Montreal Drug Squad of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police told us it was seized off the coast of Nova Scotia in February of last year and was the biggest cocaine seizure in Canadian history. And elsewhere, authorities allege a ship tied to the Locatelli organization was intercepted by NATO. Suspected of smuggling in violation of a UN arms embargo, the boat was searched and arms and ammunition were indeed discovered.
Cartello di Cali direttamente in Spagna.
Okay, we have discovered many links between the Cali cartel and this organization headed by Pasquale Locatelli, who is their point of reference in Europe.
It was the Cali, Colombia cocaine cartel that Atlanta-based investigators targeted with an undercover bank using these Buckhead offices. That sting is where we pick up the trail of the Locatelli organization.
Probably one of the most complex, outstanding money laundering investigations that I had ever heard of.
Thomas Constantine runs the Drug Enforcement Administration.
And as part of that investigation, the targets that they were working with now said, hey, look, can you pick up money for us in Europe? And if you can pick up money in Europe, can you pick it up from these people?
Dateline, Rome. This is Italian National Police video, allegedly, of a meeting with a Locatelli associate involving the pickup of several $100,000 by undercover agents posing as couriers for money launderers.
From that pickup, we came across an organization with the assistance of the Italian State Police that turned out to be the Locatelli organization.
A look at Locatelli and the locations where U.S. authorities allege his organization operated. In Italy, France, Romania, Croatia, Spain, Greece, and Canada. If the operation was big and international, so is the investigation to take it down. But at one point in the case, a problem surfaced. Journey now to the costly Costa del Sol in Spain. There we interview George Foz, who grew up in Georgia and worked the streets of Metro Atlanta for DEA, but now heads the DEA office in Spain.
You picked up intelligence he was on the move.
There came a time when we received intelligence that he was fixing to flee into a country where we had no jurisdictional authority.
You folks had to make a move.
We had to move immediately. We couldn't wait.
The problem was where to find Locatelli. There was one chance to find out. We're told investigators suspected Locatelli's lawyer, Pasquale Ciola, and others, including an Italian judge, were heading for Spain to meet with him before he fled. Vittorio Rizzi of SCO, an elite unit of the Italian National Police, described the international surveillance operation that followed. We are told it focused on a fast Mercedes carrying Chiola and the others, and that it lasted 5 days.
How much sleep did you have in those 5 days?
Quanto avete dormito?
10 ore.
10 hours.
In 5 days?
Yes.
You were exhausted.
Eravamo distrutti.
We were destroyed.
With police following, we're told the Mercedes traveled the length of Italy, crossed into France, then to the south of Spain along the coastline. A DEA agent who joined the tail job in Spain.
We'd have to maintain a sustained speeds of over 100 miles an hour throughout the surveillance.
At one point, it looked like it might be for nothing, that they were heading back to Italy. But suddenly, they changed course for Madrid and wound up at this hotel. Georgian George Foz was there.
All of the surveillance, multinational surveillance, converged at this point.
Everybody was here
Except the main man.
Locatelli.
Exactly.
For now, the agents could only wait until...
And it was in a matter of just seconds. It's amazing how fast these things go. They come out the front door of this hotel right here. They jump into a cab. The cab takes off.
And the chase is on again.
And the chase is on again. It's 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, which is a major peak traffic hour in Madrid. We had to stay fairly close or we'll lose the man. He blows one traffic light, we don't blow it, and we've lost him. We know this. And there may be 15, 20 vehicles that are all trying to catch up at this point. The taxi's the only hope we have, period.
Was it one of these taxis like the one ahead of us?
Exactly. It was one of our black and white taxis.
And they're all over the place here, and they all look alike.
That's exactly right.
Soon the cabs on narrow side streets, troublesome in their own way. Then a turn.
We're reporting on the telephone that we have, mobile telephone that we have, to Italians and to Spanish, that the man has pulled over. They stop, they get out, they come to the front door of this restaurant, this Italian restaurant, and they wait. They stand right here and they're looking around as if they're waiting for someone.
Waiting.
We think we finally hit the jackpot. They could be waiting for our man.
At long last, Locatelli, Pasquale Locatelli, might be in reach.
One man that was highly sought after by several governments.
4 days, we're told, through 3 countries, an international team of police had followed a white Mercedes, hoping its occupants were on their way to meet him. Finally, the group is standing outside an Italian restaurant in Madrid. Georgian George Foz was nearby.
We think we finally hit the jackpot. They could be waiting for our man. And shortly thereafter, there he is. He appears
Locatelli
almost out of the blue. I mean, out of nowhere. He appears with a female. Our agents are already positioned on the street. They observe this man walking across the street with this female, and everyone says, that's him. That's the main man.
Inside, Locatelli's party, said to include his lawyer and an Italian judge. This, we understand, is the record of their order. Police, meanwhile, had something else on their plate, when and where to take him down. And then one of the party comes to the front door.
And he looks up and down the street as if to say, what's going on here? At this point, we had no choice. We all made one decision at that point. We can't risk there being a back door to this restaurant. And he goes back in the restaurant. At this point, decision was made. We've got to take him down. So all of the police, armed, storm the front door of the restaurant, go in to the restaurant itself, and at a round table seated, ready for supper, is the judge, the attorney, 2 females, the bodyguard, Locatelli.
And at long last, Locatelli.
And at long last, Locatelli. And he's arrested.
8 persons coming here, and the other policeman in that table is waiting the order. And, well, speaking and come here with the pistol, the gun, and with the head, the persons, oh, what's up? Oh, no, you are arrested. You are on arrest.
Locatelli's very stoic. As a matter of fact, at the table, as we found out, was a suitcase, briefcase full of money.
We're told this photo of Locatelli was taken the date of the arrest. An investigator on the surveillance told us it lasted 5 days, close to 6,000 kilometers.
Catturava un uomo ricercato dalle polizie di mezzo
And
mondo.
when we arrested him, we were satisfied because we knew that we were arresting a fugitive from many police forces all over the world.
But for all the exotic locales, for all the international intrigue, the story of Operation Dinero hits plenty close to home. Like here, for instance, in Covington, Georgia. Operation Dinero featured a DEA IRS undercover bank run out of offices in Atlanta, initially targeting, we're told, the Cali-Colombia cocaine cartel.
What we found is that our agents in the bank have been a magnet for illegal monies and assets that crime organizations from at least 3 countries have used.
And the sting is credited with key information leading to the alleged Locatelli organization. The Covington connection?
Our role was to provide an address, a legitimate address, for one of the undercover operatives. And when you're talking about the money that was involved, particularly in Dinero, I think it's very reasonable to suspect that they may do a background investigation on the bankers that they were dealing with.
We had the backgrounds to support what we were purporting to be.
That may be one of the fine points that comes from experience. Operation Dinero was not the first Atlanta-based money laundering sting involving alleged international crime figures and millions of dollars. Last summer, U.S. Customs says close to 100 suspects were arrested worldwide in Operation Primero. Our information is an Atlanta-based customs agent met undercover at a Madrid hotel not far from a key site in the Locatelli case. And before that, Operation Polar Cap. DEA agent Albert Latson worked undercover in Polar Cap and Dinero.
When do you think Colombian drug traffickers are going to say, wait a second, when they talk to somebody and find out they're from Atlanta?
Well, that's a concern that we have as we, each time we start a new investigation. We have to deal with that.